Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important XRP movie ever. Even though the crypto market might make you question it at first, the price of XRP is about to go through the roof. But crypto experts are talking sense, especially now that Coinbase, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, is stepping up to back Ripple. This might be the best sign of a bull market we've ever seen. Some experts think that the XRP Ripple coin could even hit $58,000. That sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? But this is only the start. Let's do it one step at a time. Nota bene, Coinbase is making a big splash in the XRP world like never before. It could be a turning point not only for Ripple, but also for how big banks deal with one of the most controversial and stable digital assets in crypto. In other words, Coinbase has officially asked the Commodity Futures Trading Commission to let them self-certify an XRP futures offering. When it goes live on April 21, this futures contract will be offered on Coinbase derivatives and be worth 500 units of XRP, a standard made with Market Vector. A company that worked with Coinbase on its Coin 50 index fund will be used to set the price of the product. This move isn't a fluke. They said that the maturity and depth of the XRP markets were very important in their choice to move forward. More importantly, Coinbase talked to market participants and registered intermediaries before filing. This means that they built a foundation with serious players, and no big objections were raised. That isn't just the launch of a product. As a company that helped shape the digital asset space in the US, they have faith in XRP's future. What Coinbase said made a lot of noise, but it's part of a bigger trend. Bitnomial, a less well-known but fully controlled US exchange, started trading XRP futures in March 2025, becoming the first person to do that. Their deal is physically closed, which means that the exchange handles XRP directly instead of cash. At about the same time, Bitnomial settled its legal problems with the SEC, saying that the rules had changed. That timing wasn't a mistake. It shows that XRP is gaining support in the US futures market and among other institutions. Even with all of this, Ripple has kept moving its mission forward. Recently, CEO Brad Garlinghouse said that XRP was being thought about for the US government's strategic crypto reserve. More importantly, he hinted that spot XRP ETFs might be coming soon. Garlinghouse said that he thinks the SEC will approve an XRP ETF soon, not if. His confidence comes from the way the SEC has been acting lately. The agency dropped its appeal against Ripple and has now accepted several ETF filings linked to XRP. We are now seeing the beginnings of a controlled future for XRP, after years of legal gridlock. Now tell me what an ETF is and why it's important for XRP. An ETF, or exchange-traded fund, is like a cash machine for money. It's possible to buy shares of an XRP ETF on the stock market instead of holding XRP in your pocket. It's simple, controlled, and open to pension plans, retirement accounts, and huge institutional portfolios. That's why Bitcoin's price went through the roof when spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved. They let a whole new type of money come into the space. If an XRP ETF is accepted, it could get a lot of traditional investors interested in Ripple's ecosystem. Coinbase's listing on the XRP futures market isn't just another listing, it's an important part of making this business highway. Coinbase is telling Wall Street that XRP is ready for prime time by putting it on the market as a controlled futures contract. Liquidity is driven by futures contracts, and attention is drawn to liquidity. Price usually goes up when interest does in a controlled setting. And things are different now than they were in 2020, when XRP was being taken off of exchanges and ignored. Now it's being accepted, given legitimacy, and quietly set up as a key asset for the next step in the acceptance of cryptocurrencies. Coinbase's participation gives the whole thing a lot more weight. It's one of the few crypto platforms that both small and large players accept. Any move Coinbase makes in the XRP area is taken seriously because of their infrastructure, compliance experience, and good name. They are putting this kind of groundwork, which shows they think XRP's next big move isn't just a guess, they think it's a structural move. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only getting more interesting. Even though the whole crypto market has dropped, XRP is getting more and more attention as a coin that might be ready to go against the grain. It's not just hope that experts have, they are sure that what Ripple does next will surprise even the most experienced investors. Now that Coinbase is involved, we may be about to see a breakout that no one saw coming. Keep going, because what comes next with XRP could make everything different. XRP isn't just making it through this market, there is a lot of spirit, hype, and raw promise in it. The community is more vocal than ever, and people are more sure than ever that XRP will be useful. XRP Dragon, a well-known crypto figure, said it best: the biggest digital asset based in the US is XRP. It's not just pride getting in the way, this sentence has a lot of meanings. Bitcoin and Ethereum get most of the attention in the crypto world, but XRP is building something bigger: infrastructure for global banking in the real world. For regular banks, it's the link to blockchain, a part that many people think no other coin can play. Then there's Steph, who said it all in her tweet. Nothing stops XRP. They should not be able to take your next Lamborghini. That's the kind of power that the XRP army has right now. The road ahead looks more like a launch pad now that Ripple is out of trouble with the law. Coinbase is going all out on XRP derivatives, and there are rumors of ETFs on the way. But what about the price estimates? That's where things get crazy. Remy Relief sent out a shocking tweet that said, "At first it sounds crazy as long as you dig deeper. Do not think this is just Moonboy talk." Remy is sure of himself because XRP has so many uses. A token that isn't meant to sit in a cold wallet and gather dust, but to quickly send money across borders for a very small amount of money. He said, "I have news for you. It's not just Remy either." John Squire agreed and said, "That last point about the market cap myth is crucial. People who follow the norm say that XRP can't reach 5 or even 4 figures without exceeding the total value of the world economy. But people who are bullish on XRP say that this reasoning doesn't work when you think about on-demand liquidity, real-time usefulness, and the part XRP could play in digital currency systems run by central banks. For XRP, it's not just meant to sit there like some speculative tokens are." Next, CryptoGeek sent out a tweet that made people look twice. It captures the raw belief in XRP's future. The people who use XRP aren't just hoping anymore, they're getting ready. Yes, XRP is still going strong, even though the market as a whole isn't stable. The growing trust in the community, the momentum in the institutions, and the growing attention in the media all point to the same thing. The story of XRP is not over yet. The most exciting part of the story might only be starting. Because relationships are so important to XRP Ripple's rapid growth, let's take a look at what's going on behind the scenes. Because trust me, things are getting so crazy right now that most people haven't even noticed. Huge agencies, global banks, and secret trials. It's not just hype, it's the plan for a financial change. The next thing you hear could change the way you always think about XRP. Let's figure out what's going on. There's more to this report than just money. It's a strong sign that Ripple's XRP is changing from a speculative asset to a key part of global banking. SBI Holdings, one of Ripple's most important partners, just revealed how XRP is moving around in real time and how its uses are changing across countries. Before the XRP community's own Wrath of Kamanon brought attention to their most recent financial statement, it didn't get much attention. This started a conversation in crypto groups. The shocking news: changing the game. Out of the 100 billion XRP that are available, about 57 billion are currently in use. Over 13 million XRP have already been burned through the XRP Ledger's fee structure. This is a smart design choice that stops spam and makes XRP more scarce over time. Ripple, on the other hand, has almost 5 billion XRP, including 37.43 billion that is locked up in lockup. It is very important to have that trust system so that XRP isn't just dumped into the market. The way it's delivered is steady and predictable. This is a built-in feature of Ripple that keeps inflation in check and boosts investor trust. Things get even more interesting now. Since 2020, SBI has been giving out XRP as a bonus to its shareholders. What began as small payment of 796 XRP, which was worth about 8,000 Japanese yen at the time, has grown in value. They are now worth more than 354 yen each per XRP.